Hey man, just here to remember you that Captain told you to clean the bathrooms and... are you okay, dude?
Okay? Do I look okay to you?
Is that a rhetorical question?
They've done it this time. And the Reddit heroes suppressed themselves. I didn't thought that they could do this, but they did. Oh boy, they did.
Are you talking about that series of videos that you're working on? Dude, this can't be that bad.
Easy for you to say. You didn't need to read pages and more pages of...
Jesus Christ.
Indeed.
That's still not really a big of a problem for you to act like you're on the verge of your sanity.
I am on the verge of sanity.
Whatever, dude. Just remember to do your daily chores that the captain gave you, or else you're gonna be in big trouble with him.
I don't feel well today.
Do you want an ibuprofen?
Yes.
Sure thing then. I'll get it to you. I'm gonna be right back.
This is the captain, requesting vulturing presence at my office now.
Oh, well, no, that's just great. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite astronaut Voltorine here. Welcome to the closure of a cycle in this channel, for now. Our fifth and last video of the Loud Size fan comic Rewrite the Stars. By the way, I have received some information and apparently the comic is going to have 8 chapters. So with this video right here, we are officially starting the second half of the story. We have finally done it. We survived to the current end of this. I'm honestly happy to be able to be here until now. And as always, all the credits go to the underrated hero. Their Twitter is on screen, and I post regular updates on the production of the next chapter. Boy, do we have some things to see here today. I think I've never laughed so much out of pure satisfaction and sheer despite for 2 characters before. But oh boy, I'm not gonna spoiler this to you guys. Let's not waste any time anymore. We have over 60 pages to go through. Let's go to the comic. We start this comic in a different way. This time we are not seeing the night sky. We are in June 2020, in a universe where the you-know-what virus didn't exist apparently. Instead we are received by Narration Lincoln saying that he remembers that day like it was yesterday. He was having the most pleasant dream ever. Cozy, warm, and having happy thoughts. Nothing about it seemed to spell disaster. First thing he did when he woke up was reach with his hand, but he felt nothing, which is a little disappointing. But he reminded himself it was for the best. He turned the alarm off and checked some new texts. Said texts were coming from Luna, telling him about a guy wearing an Ace of V shirt on the Moon Goat show. Lynn responds saying that this is awesome and he will check it out. Luna gets surprised by Lincoln waking up so early and asks what he's up to for today. Lincoln says that he just wanted to get an early start for once. Luna believes him and says her goodbyes, for she's going to bed just now. Narration Lincoln continues by saying that this was a great way to start the day with a lot to look forward. He remembers walking past Lisa, the nerd, after creating a cure for a pandemic in 2 weeks. Oh, that explains. She decided to having more fun instead of stressing herself too much with science, although her definition of fun was anything but. And then there was Lola. She was much less of a brat nowadays, and a lot more friendly and caring. We have a brief conversation between them. Lola says that she smells cologne, and asks Lincoln if he's seeing someone. Lincoln denies, and jokes asking if a guy can just want to smell nice for once. Lola gets it, and proceeds to ask Lincoln to be her +1 on a playdate with Cricket Von Doren. Okay? Lincoln passed the offer, and Lola just says that they would steal all the looks. Narration continues mentioning that Lily and Luan were downstairs. The little sister was getting more and more chaotic, although the prankster seemed to get a little more chill and serious. Just a little. We got a little dialogue between the 2 sisters as well. Lily is asking Luan what if she adds permanent glue to the feathers. Don't ask me the context, I don't know either. But Luan is saying that this is dangerous. Better to use regular glue, but make it smell very bad. Lincoln gets to the kitchen, and his mom is there with a smile on her face, saying that it was about time he left the shower. Lincoln says that he's leaving to hang out with his friends. She then points out that there's some coffee left on the counter. Narration Lincoln says that their mom always looked after them, Even with 11 kids, she still made sure that all of them get breakfast. He was in a hurry, but it felt good to talk to them. They had the most loving family ever. He says his goodbyes, and as he was about to leave, he's approached by his dad asking if he is going somewhere. He was about to get Lucy to the graveyard, and offers Lincoln a ride to wherever he's going. But Lincoln dismisses, saying that he felt like walking today. Narration Lincoln says that with all of them growing older and more responsible, Dad had more help at the restaurant and could manage to spend more time away from work. He made sure to spend more time with his children before they all moved out. He never seemed to get over the empty nest syndrome. Lucy points out that he's wearing clothes for cold weather even if it's a sunny day outside. Narration Lincoln says that Lucy was always observant, always picking on the little details. Lincoln responds saying that he heard it might rain later. Dad points out that he was the second person he has heard this from today, and Lincoln says that this is good, it means he isn't crazy. And when he was about to get a surprise little sister ambushed by Lana, Lincoln interrupts her, saying that he can show up all covered in mud and grass. Instead, he offers a surprise big brother headpat, and Lana accepts this well. Narration Lincoln says that as tall as she presented herself, Lana was a precious girl. Not the most hygienic one though. She loved getting scratches and cuddling with anyone on the couch. As he walked, he checked his feed on Inverse Instagram to see what the rest of the family was up to. Laurie graduated and was working as a golf coach for little kids with Carol. I don't know who's Carol. Lenny kept working at the store. Mrs. Carmichael gave her more responsibilities, and she kept learning how to do with them and do a better job. And then he had a little inconvenience. It was Clyde, texting him about some new Ori game Stella bought. They would try to see who gets the furthest without dying, and ask him if he wants that Clyde picks him up on his way there. Lincoln dismisses, saying that he has plans. Clyde asks again for it's the weekend. Narration Lincoln says that he would be canceling a lot of plans with the gang lately. He responds to the text saying that he's sorry and promising he's gonna be there next time. Clyde says that no worries and asks if he is doing something in family with his sisters. Oh boy, where do I begin to tell you that? Narration Lincoln says that he told mom he was going out with friends. He needed to be careful and not lie too much. As we see Lincoln approaching Lynn, we see the final text. Lincoln saying that it's kinda like it, a trip they have been planning. As they see each other, Lincoln begins to say that he couldn't hear her leaving, and Lynn asks on how could he? He snores too loud. Lincoln responds with a joking punch on the arm, says to look who's talking. Lynn answers this saying that she have been too soft on him lately. Maybe he needs a reminder of who she is. When they both end this, Lincoln says that now he's hurt. Lynn asks what he wants her to do about it. He responds that he has an idea on a way to make him feel better. He goes for a kiss, but Lynn stops him, saying that the bus is almost there, and they don't need to rush, asking if he brought his beanie. He confirms saying thank God he hit it, and telling her that they asked him why he was living like it's winter on a sunny day. Lynn says it's not just for the weather. Besides, it might be raining by the time they come back. Lincoln even comments on how that's what he said to Dad, but it was just an excuse. Lynn says that she read it on the news, but even if it doesn't rain, they come up with something. A few minutes later, they're already on the bus, and both of the siblings are again sharing some music. Lynn asks what he picked, but Lincoln only says that she will love it. As the lyrics are shown to us on screen, she says that he is cheesy and tells him to keep it up, as we get presented to a montage of them going somewhere, with the lyrics on screen. They left at a place called Ferry Station and get on a boat. As it begins to become windy, Lynn says that they should have come there in their bikes. At least they would have some warm-up. Lincoln even jokes about this being too cold for her, but she says that she isn't used to just stand around doing nothing. She's always warmed up. Lincoln then asks what if he helps her with that and hugs Lynn. She calls that a move, but warns him to not try anything else. Do not attempt her. But Lincoln says that he's only warming his sister on the code, being a good brother. The fact that you recognize this and still make jokes about it somehow makes this even more disgusting. Lynn says to not worry, since they're almost there. As we see them approaching the Canadian frontier, we then see Lincoln paying a bribe and then complaining that the guy raised the fee again, saying that this is almost a whole week's worth of tips at the restaurant. He's the one accepting the bribe. He should be scared of something that we're never gonna know because Lynn interrupts him, giving him a kiss. We then see that they arrived at Mapleville, and Lynn says that he shouldn't worry about him. Today is all about them. She then asks where should they start. We then get a sequence of panels followed by narration coming from the two parts. Lincoln says that they could never have a real date back in Royal Woods, that's why they have traveled every now and then to other places. Lynn completes, saying that they would go places where they weren't recognized, where they could just be another couple. Lincoln laments that they couldn't take more than one afternoon. Lynn says that they didn't have enough time to do what every couple does. Good, excellent even. That's wonderful, really. That would be so gross to even imagine. Lincoln says that they made most of their time together to indulge in their repressed feelings. They played around and had a great time not having to worry about a thing. It wasn't that strictly romantic, more like a chance for them to be authentic about their feelings. This shouldn't be any romantics, for God's sake, you're siblings! He says that there was a bit of romance sprinkled in there. It was hard to contain it. I'm not gonna repeat myself after like 2 seconds. They knew their time was limited, so they made the most of every moment to enjoy each other's company, to build memories, and recreate old ones. She would never been happier than she was during their dates. Lincoln agrees, calling her my love. I'm about to crash out. We then cut to a few hours later. Lincoln begins a dialogue, saying that next time it's on him. He wants to buy her stuff too. But Lynn says that he should keep those tips for himself. Lincoln remembers something and comments that a senior girl left her a phone number at the table next with his tip. Lynn jokingly asks if she was pretty. Lincoln responds, saying that she could be a cheerleader. Lynn jokes, saying that she'll have to kill her. Can't take any chances. I can think of someone better for you to kill. Lincoln responds with another joke, saying that she could dress like a cheerleader, to which Lynn denies. I'm either sick in the head, seeing things where there is nothing, or this conversation is gross. Lincoln then pulls another subject, saying that the graduation is coming, and asking Lynn if she's anxious. She says that doesn't care, and Lincoln asks if she already figured out what to do after that. She questions if he's gonna go again with that, but Lincoln says that he knows she's not the gal with the plan, but she's his... Her future is her own too. She says that she tries not to think too much about it. Ever since she signed up with the kangaroos, she's been making some dough, but it isn't enough to pay any rent for an apartment or anything. And the roller derby and hockey teams don't pay nearly as much. Their father says that she should study something, but studying not really her thing, and she never thought about doing it after school. She always thought about making a living out of her sports. Oh, poor girl, thinking she can live of a dream. Don't you dare. Lincoln says that they still have time until he graduates. He can even save some money to move out. Maybe even applying for a scholarship in California or LA. It's just a couple of years. Maybe LA Galaxy will be willing to reconsider hiring her then. Lynn smiles at Lincoln being so determined to help. She calls him an idiot, and after teasing for a kiss, she says how she loves that he's thoughtful, but he shouldn't worry about that. She got over it the moment they had their first kiss. Please don't even remember me of that. I still haven't forgot what that image made to my perception of Frank Sinatra. She doesn't need money or fame to be happy. She just cares about having him there with her in the future. They will figure out everything else once they get there together. Narration Lincoln says that he was always planning in advance, figuring out what to do next, but she taught him how to let himself go. With her, he learned that he doesn't need to know everything in advance to enjoy life to the fullest, especially with her by his side. He says that it's not like she didn't think too much about stuff because she didn't care about plans or consequences. She just knew that after hiding for so long, it felt oh so good to say finally, I love you, and to kiss him and to touch him like she wanted. I'm actually gonna puke. We cut to the end of the day and they're getting ready to leave. Lincoln laments that the ferry leaves in an hour, saying that time flies when they're together. Lynn says to him to not worry, for they're gonna have more dates like this, comparing to a soccer game. It sucks when it's over, but she knows it has another one next week. Besides, the wedding makes it the ecstasy of celebrating a goal feels small next to this, and they begin to kiss. Just pull the trigger, bro. They continue kissing, but they are getting more excited about it. She even bites his lips. Pull the damn trigger, coward! Thank God they are interrupted by a Canadian officer, saying that this is a family park and asking what are they doing. My hero! You have no idea what was about to happen. Thank you so much for appearing. They get flabbergasted. Negan says sorry as he says that they are leaving. But the officer notices something. He recognizes Lincoln and asks if he thought they would have forgotten about him. But he will never forget the little kid they banned from their country, the kid who broke their most precious law, the kid who rejected syrup. Kind of you, Mr. Underrated Hero, to put a disclaimer about this being an actual episode of the series. Lynn laughs about it, saying that he told her that he got booted for melting the ice rink. And Lincoln explains that he was trying to avoid that reaction. But the guard begins a discourse about how syrup is their way of life, and how Lincoln mocked their hospitality by rejecting it, yada yada yada. They banned him for 3 years at the beginning of the school year in 2017, and his ban expires only in August 2020. 2 months from now. Lincoln even tries to escape, saying that he's confusing him for somebody else. But he's leaving right now. But the officer says that he won't be living there on his own. Lynn tries to intervene, saying that she won't let him arrest Lincoln, and challenging a moose. Girl thinks she can decide if someone gets arrested or not. The officer apologizes. He didn't want to imply that he will be arrested. He says that it's just too cold, and he will go with them to make sure that they don't catch a cold. He does need to make sure the boy leaves the country though. There's nothing wrong with her. But her boyfriend has denied Sarah, so he must make sure he leaves their beautiful home and let his parents know what he's been up to. Oh my god, is this the beginning of the end? Is it? Am I dreaming? We cut to 3 hours later at the Michigan dock. It's raining and the loud parents are waiting for their children. When they see their kids, they immediately rush to them to see if they are okay. And the guard is just yapping about being sorry they had to come in the rain, and Lincoln's ban being extended for more 3 years and blah blah blah. The mom was asking Lincoln what was he doing in Canada out of all places, and that he lied when he told them he would be living with his friends. The dad is just bawling his eyes out, and Lynn is asking to go home as soon as possible. The officer says that he hopes they meet again in better circumstances, but they should respect their wrathful bans and try to teach their boy to control his hormones if they want to make out in a family park. God bless Canada, hero of all nations in the world. Everyone gets shocked with this affirmation. The dad even asks what did he just said, and the guard confirms that he found them making out on a park like they were in a private bedroom. He isn't in position to judge their promiscuity, but there are certain levels of public decency they must abide to, and they don't want to tell them what their boy's hands were doing to his girlfriend's body. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with an immense pleasure that I bring to you the news that they are completely fun! Finally! They're finally caught! After this torture session, we are finally see the consequences of this gross relationship. Oh hail Canada! For if it isn't for them, this wouldn't be happening. As we see them getting home, all setty and webby, their sisters immediately confront them what they did. Oh, you will know it. Oh, you will know it. All of them are commenting and asking about how they are in trouble as the couple goes silent to the couch. As soon as the parents enter the house, they demand everyone to go to their rooms and lock their doors. Their sisters even try to insist that they want to hear, but the mother yells, telling them to do what they are told. They all go silently to their rooms right away. The parents get 2 chairs and sit face to face with their children. What's the problem, children? Why the long faces? The father begins with the questions, asking them to be honest. What did they do? But they remain silent. The mother then gets delicious, asking if what the officer said is true. The father continues in denial, saying that he was obviously mistaken. Must have been a misunderstanding. But they remain silent. We can see the utter shock in their parents' faces.
Boring breed. Did you actually thought that you could get away with this? Pathetic. You're making me feel bad, man.
Their parents began to rile them, saying things like how they can't believe it, and saying that this should be some kind of trick. They also ask if anyone forced them to do this, and how long has this been going on. The mother asks if one of them is being abused, to which they both respond at the same time that neither of he or she would never do that. The father says that they believe them. They know they'll never do such a thing to each other. but they need an explanation. Lincoln even says that it's nothing to them to worry about, but the parent says that yes it is. He continues saying that they weren't doing anything wrong, and they shouldn't worry. Still, the parents ask why would they do that, to which he responds saying that they wouldn't understand. The mom begins to tear up, begging for them to stop hiding things from them. They love them more than anything. They need to understand. Just tell them what's going on, even promising that they aren't in trouble. Be careful of what you promise, lady. She just wants to make sure their kids are okay. Lynn finally grows a pair of, she tells her mom they love each other. The mother even says that of course they do. They're siblings. But Lynn proceeds to say that it's not like that. It's more like they are in love, and we get a glimpse of the noisy sisters upstairs hearing all the conversation. And I never saw such a face to express my reaction to this comic perfectly. The mom even says that they're mixing up feelings. They're close, best friends even. But that's another kind of love. But Lincoln asks about her being wrong, saying that their lives would be way easier if that was the case. He tried to convince himself that he was just confused, an over-attached little brother. But this is real. They didn't ask to do it. They tried to bury those feelings away. They really did. They went through a lot, being miserable for so long, but they couldn't keep lying to themselves. He really loves her, the way they love each other. Why would you say that? Such a happy moment here, and you're there with your gross talk. I feel sick to my stomach just by reading that last sentence, man. Are you happy now? Lynn completes saying that they know it's not typical, but they weren't misguided or confused. She really loves him more than anything. She would give away everything for him. She kinda did. They tried to keep it a secret because they know what people would think, what their parents would think. But whatever they're thinking, that won't change how they feel for each other. They know this is awkward, but this doesn't have to change anything. They're still them. This doesn't have to change anything. Are you delusional? Well then, since you said that you can be a couple of siblings now, nothing's gonna change. Be for real. Once. The father is obviously in shock and proceeding to ask some pertinent questions. What's that about giving up everything for him? That's a very long story actually, but luckily I made a video about it. Go check. Do they really believe what are they saying they feel? How long has it been this way? The siblings just keep themselves in silence as the father says that they are past being just awkward. Lincoln says that they have always loved each other, but they figured out just how much 4 years ago, and they have been for a few months. The mother questions on how they can say such a thing like it's normal. They can't be a couple. They're siblings. Thank you! She knows they're in a troublesome age with a lot of emotions, but they are not stupid. They both gotta know they can't be a couple. It's illegal. It's immoral. It's sick. Hey, so I just wanted to tell you that I'm sorry I called you a deadbeat some videos ago. Go check. And that you are absolutely right too. The siblings then began to brag about what she said. You can ask her to not say that. They're not sick. They're in love. They know it's unexpected. That's just how they feel. They can ask them to be happy, but asks for them to try to understand. Lynn says that they're not some degenerates. What they feel for each other is as real as their parents feel for each other. Or Laurie and Bobby. Or Sam and Luna. Or Pop-Pop and Martel. Who? They can't go around calling people sick for something they didn't choose. The father then corrects, saying that they're not sick, but confused. Lynn never had a boyfriend, and Lincoln always got on and off relationships. They haven't found the right person yet. They think they're in love, but that's just because they didn't find their significant other. Someone not related to them. Someone they could really be in a relationship with. Lincoln snaps, telling them to stop feeling better about this and listening to them. This is not something they haven't thought about. They've tried to feel different for years, but they can't. They're old enough to know what they feel. They're in love, and that's not gonna go away just because they would think they're crazy. The mother says that she believes that they think they're in love, but what they think is gonna happen in the long run. They can't be together. It can't possibly last. Stop it before it's too late. Before they do something they will regret. Just tell her that they haven't been intimate. Why aren't you denying? Why aren't you saying no? Oh dear God. I'm not gonna narrate this page, even I have some limits for what I can and cannot do to myself and to you guys. If you are just listening to this video, note that this whole page is just the parents discovering that Lincoln and Lynn got intimate, let's say. The parents proceed to ask, what did they do wrong? How can they fail them like this? All of the present family begins to cry. Lincoln says that they didn't do nothing wrong. And they didn't need, are you fucking kidding me right now? They're just trying to be themselves and to be happy. But they kept it a secret because no one would understand. No one would support them. Lynn questions if they know how much it hurts to love someone and being made feel like shit for it. They know they can never be happy without feeling guilty. That's why they've been tripping to other towns, to experience what everyone else gets to enjoy. They didn't want to make their friends hate them. They didn't want to make it weird. They didn't want this. They just wanted to feel normal for a day, and they didn't want them to hate them. Yeah, right, cry me a river, disgusting shit. Their parents go to hug them. The father says that they could never hate them. They're the most precious thing in their lives. They'll always love them, and there's nothing in the world that could change that. The mother says that they don't want them to feel bad or alone. They just want the best for them and their siblings. Lincoln asks to please not send them away. But the father says that they would never do that. They will still there and work this together. But this thing they're going through has to stop. Both siblings denies it. Lynn says that they can make it work. No one will ever know. They won't mess up again. That's not the freaking problem, damn it. Haven't you got it yet? You are siblings. Whatever the hell we want to make up to justify this won't work. It's not the fact that you got caught, it's the fact that this shouldn't even exist to begin with. Lincoln says that it doesn't affect anyone, promising not to make a big deal out of it. It's like they will never know. But the mother says that this is a lot to take in, and they need time to think this through. But she believes that they fell in love with each other. They've always been close. Almost the same age, that could happen, but they're both growing up. Lynn, in special, is almost an adult now, and part of being an adult is knowing when they have to make hard decisions. They may love each other, but it would never work out. It's only going to cause them trouble and pain. This needs to stop, and it will stop today. The father says that they will be with them every step of the way, get the best adolescent psychologist to help them deal with it. Lincoln even says that they aren't crazy, but the dad says that they won't cure them. They'll help them get over those conflicting emotions. Lynn says that she doesn't want to get over this. She can't. She even insists that they don't understand. They can't just get rid of how they feel. Are you sure? But the mother says sorry, wishing that she knew how to help them. They don't want them to hate them, but their job as parents is to do what they think is best for them. Father says that they will talk more tomorrow and send them to their rooms to get some rest. They'll figure it out together. As both of them go upstairs in utterly shock, Mother tells them to stay in their room. We then see the sounds of the sisters' steps finally going to their room and slamming their door. Narration Lincoln then says that just like that, everything was over. Nothing would be the same ever again. Lynn says that she would kill for them to spend the night together, to hold each other when they needed it the most, but it couldn't be. She didn't sleep that night, and he wouldn't get any sleep for a long time. Getting to the next day, we see that the sisters are having an emergency sister meeting, coordinated by Lori. She announces the issue on the table. Lynn and Lincoln dating, and gives the award to anyone who wants to speak. Lily begins by asking if anyone had noticed anything. She thought he was smiling a lot more after Danny broke up with him. You don't know what's this about? Go check the channel. She got happy for him. She thought he would gotten over her, but if what they say is true, Lena says that she can't believe it. How couldn't she see it? It seems obvious now, but they said they were miserable for years. They trust them enough to say anything. Lena ends by asking if they're bad sisters for not noticing what they were going through. We then see three of the older sisters' thoughts about it. One blaming Lincoln, one blaming Lynn, and one blaming both. Luna says that they aren't the bad siblings there. Lincoln and Lynn are the ones who messed up. That's just another of Lincoln's delusions. Sounds like he thought he could man with the plan a relationship with Lynn. Once he convinces himself of something, he won't listen to reason. Luan says that Lynn was always obsessed with being his favorite sister. Looks like her competitive side got the best of her. She never dated anyone. She saw him as his prize, and convinced him to get to this weird relationship with her. Then he says that both should know better. It sounds like they both thought this through. She doesn't think that any of them pushed the other into anything. They're both to blame. If I can cooperate with anything, I agree to all of them. Aside from the obvious reason, I just hate this couple more than anything. So if you speak ill of them, you are on my good side no matter what. Lola says that they are not there to throw anyone under the bus. What is done is done. They crossed a line. Now they need to figure out how they go from there. Doesn't matter what they think. Both Lincoln and Lynn thinks they fell in love, and they should act based on that. Then he asks what's there to figure out. They can't stay together any longer. I already have a favorite character here. Lana says that she wasn't there last night. They wouldn't give up. This means a lot to them. Lynn says that no one wants to make them feel bad, but it's not up to them. It's not meant to be. They will have to stop, either now or later, when it's worse. Lily says that if they are in love, that would break their hearts. Luan responds saying that this isn't real love, they're just confused. But Lucy gets in the way saying that she's wrong. It's as real as love gets. Shut the hell up. I'm not even mad at Lily. She's the youngest of them all. She's naive. But you should know better. I don't know your age, but I could bet money that you know that this is wrong. For those curious about what she says, here's a resume. She knew they had something more between them. She tried to cast a spell to get rid of their feelings for each other, but it got no result. And she finalizes saying that breaking their relationship would be to break their spirit. She even says that they can proceed however they want, but they should listen to her. How about not? Lordy points out to Lisa saying that she's the smart one and asking what should they do. And she says the most obvious thing. They should intervene and put an end to their relationship. They might hate them for it or even be grateful for them, but that's a small price to pay in order to prevent this situation from being exposed. He must have known a love like this could only end in misery. Now, if you guys remember or watched the last Rewrite the Stars video, you should remember this panel right here. Back then I said that this information would be important in the future. Well, the future is now. We see that Lola is trembling when what seemed to be rage, and as soon as Lisa stopped talking, she blasts out their room in direction to Lincoln's room. The sisters even ask what is she doing and tries to stop her, but it's too late. As she bursts the door open to Lincoln's room, he seemed surprised, but Lola on the other hand is snapping at him asking how could he? Lincoln doesn't even respond to that. Lana tries to bring her sister back to the meeting, but she's going at it with Lincoln, demanding him to look in her eyes when she's talking to him. Lincoln tries to ask what she meant by that, but she continues saying that they had an agreement. 1 boy, 10 girls. They one sacred rule to get along. He was everyone's favorite brother. They loved him different from how they loved each other. And now, how could he fall in love with Lynn? Why would he love her more than them? Lincoln even begins to ask if they think he loves them less. He then begins to say that he doesn't love her more than any of them. They're everything to him. They know this. Both of them are sorry for that. They needed to hide this from them, to lie, to make them deal with their complicated emotions. He loves them all as much as he always loved, and he thinks they know how much he cares about them. Lola says that Lincoln is charming even when he's lying to her face, but Lincoln assures that he isn't lying. His stupid little heart has 10 spaces for every one of them. That's never going to change. Lola says that one of those is a lot bigger than the others, but Lincoln says that one of those is different, but it doesn't make them any less important to him. Lola says that yet he chose her over the rest of them. He shouldn't act like he's innocent, like these are cards he was dealt. Always knew those feelings were there. He knew it was wrong. He knew he shouldn't fall in love with his sibling, and even then he decided to feel them. He chased after the butterflies in his stomach. He stayed up all night fantasizing about a life together, even knowing he shouldn't. But he couldn't bring himself to give up on these feelings, so he chose to fight for her. He chose her. Lincoln tries to say that it's not that simple. She doesn't know what it's like, something that we're never gonna know. Lola continues saying to save the sub-story. She knows exactly how strong those feelings are, how intrusive, tormenting they can be, how much louder the heart screams when you try to ignore it. Lincoln even tries to ask what does that mean, but she continues her monologue. Everyone wants them to get over it. But she knows they won't. They're in love? Fine. She hopes they're happy because they're her siblings and she loves them. But they all make their choices, and he chose his feelings for Lynn. She hopes he is satisfied, that he can sleep at night. She hopes they enjoy every moment they are together making things a couple does. He made his choice. Now deal with the consequences. One boy, 10 girls. They loved him differently. She loved him differently. The deal was for him to love them all the same. But he chose to love Lynn differently. He broke their trust. He broke their family. And in case he didn't realize yet, he broke her heart too. Lincoln finally realizes, having a mental flashback of all the strange things Lola ever said to him since chapter 2. Go Jack! As she leaves in tears, saying that she hopes they're happy. He then proceeds to direct his words to Luan, saying that Lynn didn't treat him as a prize, and she didn't convince him of nothing. As she asked if he could listen to them on the other room, he proceeds speaking. He says that she rejected him twice, saying that it wouldn't work out for them. He convinced her that it wouldn't come down to this. Luna's right, it's all his fault. He was being delusional. Luna even tries to say that she didn't meant it like that. She knows this is hard, but she would never. Something we're never gonna know. Because Lincoln says that they were tired of pretending they weren't in love. They tried to move on, but they couldn't. He thought they could make this work without hurting anyone. He was wrong, and he's sorry. He didn't mean to hurt Lola, or them, or their parents. He didn't mean to break their family. They just wanted to be happy.
Oh, someone can't date his sister. Mwah.
We get to later that night, and all the house is quiet during dinner. You can almost touch the tension if it wasn't the fact that it's not actually real. But the silence is broken when the mother says that they have talked with an adolescent psychologist who helped them to deal with and overcome this situation. In response to this, saying that he told them they're not sick. Dude, you can't say a joke like that without warning us first, bro. The father says that they know and compares this to working through grief. It's a process. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them, they just need some assistance to deal with the situation. But Lynn retaliates, saying that this is just a roundabout way of saying they're dumb and they need a doctor to tell them that what they feel is wrong and they are crazy. I mean, if it isn't obvious enough at this point though, the mother denies, saying that he knows how to deal with the strong emotions they feel at this age and learn how they can control it. The father completes, saying that they understand they are not crazy or sick. They might just need help to work through this. And they will. All of them will make sure they have everything that is necessary together. They're all on this together now. Lincoln asks what does he meant by that, and the father directs his words to everyone on the family. No one can know about this. They can't tell this to their best friends or not even someone they're dating. Well, that's a problem. If you count with only my part, I already spread this to more than 1,000 people. Wait, 1,000? Holy shit! And they will reorganize their schedules so nobody stays home alone. Both siblings act undignified with this. Lynn asks if they are supposed to be prisoners now, and Lincoln says that they don't need a babysitter, and asks if they don't trust them anymore. The father tries to reason with them, telling them to stop trying to make them look like the bad guys in the situation. They're just trying to help them. But Lincoln claims that they don't need any help from a psychologist, but the father finally snaps, saying that yes they do. They need them to get over this so their family can be normal again. The siblings seem to get offended by this information and proceeds to leave the table both at once. As they both go to their rooms, the dad says to Lucy to go with Lynn and make sure that she stay with her. Then get a montage followed by narration. Lincoln saying that the next few months were awful. The therapy sessions were exactly like they imagined. The guy wasn't even bad at all, but they didn't need any help. Are you sure? Lynn says that the therapy continued at home. As time went by, they started to understand them, but they still tried to get them right. Lincoln comments that not all of their sisters talk to them, and we see him saying that as he tries to comfort Lola, saying that she is still his baby sister, his princess. But Lola dismisses him, saying that she respects his crush on Lynn, and he should respect her pain and leave her alone. Lynn comments that everyone started to notice that something was up. We also got a dialogue between Lynn and one of her teammates. She's saying that she have been playing passive lately, and asking if everything was alright. Then invent something about being worried with college to escape the question. They can continue saying that they were miserable. They could barely talk to each other in private. Everyone kept an eye on them. They saw their pain. He knew it hurt them as well. Lynn completes saying that it hurt everyone in the family. They tried their best, but they would never fully understand. We then get a dialogue between Lily and Lynn. Lily is saying to her that he is nice and cute, but isn't he too much of a doofus? Lynn affirms it, but she says that he's so romantic it's alluring. Lily then asks if he is a good kisser, and Lynn responds asking if she wants to find out. I'm not even gonna comment on this. Lily calls Lynn disgusting, which is correct, but she apologizes right after. To which Lynn responds saying that it's okay. He can continue saying that they changed their status quo. Time flew by and nothing seemed to improve. We also got a dialogue here, but it's just Luna's wishing something for her birthday. Nothing really extraordinary. They were constantly woken up on eggshells. And here we see Lincoln saying that he will live, so Lisa can enjoy her stupid show without acting like he's about to molest her. She even tries to apologize, but it fails miserably. Lyndon says that all things considered, it took them long enough to break quarantine. We see them now together at the attic. Lincoln is saying on how messed up things are now. The family is falling apart. Lola won't talk to him. Lucy keeps an eye on them. Lisa can't deal with the fact she didn't see it coming. Lynn completes saying that their older sisters think they are doomed. Lily doesn't understand. Lena's fearing the family is getting separated, and let alone their parents. Lincoln says that it's all their fault. They thought they could make it work, but they can't, no matter how much they wanted it. It's just not written in the stars. Lynn says that it was so much for their happy ending. It was a nice fantasy while it lasted. For who? Certainly not for me. But now it's time to put the dream scenario to rest. Lincoln asks if she's sure. Lynn says that they knew it would come down to this. They tried their best. They just wanted to be happy. But it's ruining their family. She wishes there was a way to make this work, but the longer they keep this up, the more everyone will suffer. They finalize this, saying that they love each other, and then we get a scene of them packing up to leave the house in the middle of the night. But as they were about to leave, they encounter Lily making a midnight snack. She even begins to justify herself, but her face changes as she notices the bags and asks them if they were leaving. Lynn asks Lily to keep it down, but she's becoming desperate, asking if they aren't leaving. Lincoln tells her that they need her to come back to her room and don't wake anyone up, saying that it will be fine. But she says that Laurie promised they wouldn't leave. She told Lisa they could make them happy. She told her she was wrong, that they would go through this. She told Lola she shouldn't be mean to them, that they would hug it out like they always do. Lincoln says that it's now or never and proceeds to live with Lynn, saying that they are sorry for everything. But as he is passing through the door, he's suddenly held back by Lily, asking if that's the last time they'll see each other, not even on their birthday. Lynn tries to say that maybe one day they might try to come back, and she hopes she can forgive them one day because they love her. Lily says that she knows it, and she loves them too, and she wants them to be happy. So even if it breaks her heart, they should go be happy, and she will love them from there. Narration Lynn says that just like that, they left. Lincoln completes saying that they left their house, their family, their lives. Lynn continues saying that they rushed out of Royal Woods. The man with the plan had everything ready for them. Lincoln says that clearly not everything, just some ideas on how to run away and maybe some options of what to do after that. We then get a dialogue between them at a motel. Lincoln says that he only has about $340, but Lynn says that it's okay. She has saving the kangaroo's paydays. That's $4K, damn. Plus some allowance money. That's enough to get them to somewhere, but where? East? West? South? Maybe give California a shot. He said he could get to Collards. That's good for him, right? Lincoln says that this was plan A, but it's been a while, and things got worse. If the cops really give a damn about finding them, a big city would be a problem for them. They're forever relying on everyone in the family respecting their decision. That if they even put on a search for them, can't use their ID cards, can't use a bank, can't even use a credit card. Plan A is bust, and Plan B is off the table too. Too risky, and he's not gonna risk losing her. That means Lynn steps in, saying that they'll go with the Plan C. It wasn't their first option, but it's their best shot, and she's down if he's down. Lincoln says that this is such a big step, and asks how can she be so calm, but she completes saying that she isn't. But she remembers the thing he said to her that night at the camp. Previous chapter, go check. As long as they are together, she knows they can handle anything. They kiss, and Lincoln then says that she is right. He couldn't do it by himself, but if she's with him, he knows they will be fine. Lynn says that it seems like they are not gonna spend the night there after all. She's gonna make the call. But in the meantime, it might be the time to say their goodbyes. Lincoln then goes to the outside and proceeds to call Clyde. Clyde answers, and Lincoln begins apologizing for waking him up and for being so inactive in Discord and barely hanging out with them out of school. Damn dude, you've been neglecting your homeboys real good, huh? Clyde says that he sounds like he has been crying and asks if he is okay. It's not like him to be wake up at 4 a.m. Lincoln says that he isn't okay. He messed up really bad. This is a code half situation. Clyde got surprised by this. Apparently code hot is a code for running away, and he proceeds to ask him if he's okay, if he's safe, or where is he. Lincoln says that he can't tell him, but the less he knows the better. He apologizes for not being a good friend for Clyde like he was to him. He was his first friend, and always his best friend. He'll never forget him. Clyde questions why is Lincoln sounding like he's saying goodbye, and repeats the question on where is he and how can he help him. Lincoln just asks him to go back to sleep and don't call anyone tonight. Just wait until tomorrow. Tell the guys he's sorry he didn't call and please take care of his sisters. He's leaving because he hurt them and he knows just how much he's gonna hurt them and him more by leaving, but he really needs to do it. He says that he hopes they can all forgive him someday. Clyde asks Lincoln to please stop, to just talk to him. Whatever he did, they can fix it. Clyde's still saying that Lincoln is his buddy. He'll have his back, he promises. And as he calls for Lincoln on the phone, Lincoln throws his phone to the forest. We then get to Lynn saying goodbye to one of her football teammates, Margot, saying that she's sorry and she wished she could tell them more. She also says that there is nothing they can do and asks to take care of everyone. She knows they'll hate her, but she loves them and asks to tell the girls that she's sorry she couldn't take them to the finals, and she's sorry for leaving them like this. She says that she wishes good luck in college to her. She is sure she will do great as she finalizes the call. After this, they both hug. Lynn says that this is it. They cut their ties with everyone they knew and loved. It's just them now. Lynn says that she loves him, and Lincoln responds the same, but they can't stay there for too long. If Margot or Clyde call their parents, they better be as far away as they can, and soon. Lynn agrees and says she's gonna get rid of her phone, but Lincoln says to write down the number. Lynn agrees and completes saying that they will use a public phone, and pray for him to help them. We then get a montage of them on their runaway. While Lincoln speaks on the phone, he explains the situation, saying that they need a big favor and a place to go. He even emphasized that they weren't criminals. Really? Are you sure about that? But they really need to stay low. They need a place to start over, but they don't have much money. And it's embarrassing asking for this, but he's the only one they can trust right now. It would mean a lot to them if he could lend a hand to them, and after that they'll be gone. They just need a place to stay for a bit, while they figure all this out. And he finalizes saying that Angus is their only hope. Now, I know this guy, and I know this castle, and I also know this place. I know the Loud House movie basically. Not because I watched it, I didn't, and I don't intend to, but I got all of this info for YouTube videos basically. I'm not gonna enter in details, but know that they are now in Scotland. When they finally reach the castle, Angus was there waiting for them. They say on how much they have missed him, and how much of a big favor he's doing for them. Now inside, Angus says that both the castle and the crown belongs to him if he wishes. Lincoln dismisses the offer. They're trying to start over with a low profile, and the crown doesn't really suit this idea. Angus accepts as well. He still doesn't know the specifics of their situation, but he needs to know in order to give them proper help. As they finish this small talk, Angus presents Lincoln his new room and asks Lynn to follow him into hers. But Lincoln says to him to not worry, they don't intend being there for too long, so they would rather not mess 2 rooms. And she can stay with him on the same bed, since it's big enough according to what he remembers. Angus smirks, and as we see a painting of Lincoln's and Lynn's ancestors at the background, he says that story doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. We then get the final dialogue of Angus, saying that he'll be at the other side of the castle, and the dialogue between the two, parting from Lynn. She says that she can't hear him snoring, and asks if he can't sleep, because he was thinking about Angus's offer. She even jokes about how she could have a Duke boyfriend, but Lincoln says that sooner or later oh my god, they're naked in the same bed!
Okay, fine, I might admit, you're even grosser than I initially thought.
Hey, these two are giving you trauma?
Buzz off, I got this.
Swearing doesn't make you cool.
He basically says that their family will come there to look for them sooner or later. Besides, everyone in town knows they're related. Lynn says that she knows. She was kidding. She doesn't like seeing him so sad. He says sorry. He shouldn't feel this. Not with her on his side. But I have lost everything that week. He finally saying that it will take time to ease the pain. And healed his wound. We then get a bit of narration coming from Lynn, saying that it took about a week for Angus to get everything they needed to start again, which gave them this much time to have some fun on the castle. Lincoln says that during that time, they wore the smiles they weren't allowed to use during the past month. Lynn completes, saying that Angus finally gave them their new IDs, new fake names. They're legally not related. Even aged her up a few months so she can be a legal adult. We don't see their new identities. Lincoln Loud is now Lincoln Loudheart, and Lynn Loud is now Lynn O'Neill Massey. You know, underrated hero is Argentinian, but honestly, I think this choice of names is probably very much in character with the show. Lynn says that they'll never be able to repay him for all he did to them. Lincoln completes, saying that he hopes Angus knows just how much they love him. He even arranged it with a friend of his to let them rent an apartment at a student's housing. Lynn adds that he gave everything they needed to take their first steps into their brand new selves. Lincoln says that it was scary, at least he was scared, and Lynn agrees. But even though they didn't have much, being scared or not knowing if they could make it work, even when they ran away from their family, their home, their country, even if they gave up on their names, they still had the one thing that made it all worth it, their love for each other, as strong as ever. Lincoln completes saying that they couldn't have known all the ups and downs, the joy and the tragedy they would find in their new lives. But like they said at the start of all of this, they're here because of it. For the first time, this doesn't sound like a cliffhanger, but still, we have to be continued to the next chapter that doesn't exist yet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's how the story. Psych! We got an extra page here. The letter Lincoln and Lynn left when they ran away, but we're not gonna talk about it yet. This is just for the true final, so stay right there and listen. With this video, we close a saga in this channel. The saga that began this to begin with. This is sure something. I never thought in my life that I could hit such big numbers in such little time. But look at us, we're almost 100. Of course this isn't much, but I managed to gather all of us here with this series. Obviously I'm not saying that any of this is okay. I stuck with the common sense that injustice grows. But I would be lying if I said that this had no importance in this channel's future story. Chapter 6 has already 9 pages or so that has been released, but just on Patreon for payers. So that means that we are going to have a long wait until next part. Adopting a zombie didn't really break the ground, but I didn't really expect it. I made that video out of this part for not being able to make this one right here in time. Although you guys need to know, from now on, we're gonna have some different contents here. No, I'm not migrating from narration of shitty stories to gameplay or something. It's just that I'm gonna bring other works to you. All for webtoons, mangas, manhwas, comics, or anything amongst those lines. And I really hope to see you guys there with me. I'll always try to keep the level of quality here, even improving, so don't worry about being boring. Anyways, if you like this type of content, leave a like. If you think that I did a good job reading this, subscribe. And if you have something to say, or even suggestions that are not this comic, or even things that aren't the Loud House related, and want to see me talk about it, don't be shy, leave a comment. But that's it for today. For now, I must dive into the internet hell in order to gather some more content to the next week. Hopefully this won't take me the same amount of effort this one did. Bye bye, Space Wanderer.
Dear family, we're sorry for all the pain we've caused you. We never meant for you to get hurt because of us. We know we shouldn't be together, and you're doing what you think is best. But we can't help how we feel, and we feel like we belong together.
So we decided we should leave, so we can be together without forcing you to accept us or to keep staying in this thing we have. We are sorry. We love you.
Please, don't try to find us. It could get us in trouble. Tell the police we've been troublemakers.
They will believe you.
Mom and Dad, I'm sorry I've always been a weird son with weird plans.
I'm sorry for being so rough with you all the time.
Lori, I'm sorry I wasn't responsible like you.
I'm sorry I never listened.
Lenny, always keep smiling.
Never let anyone tell you you're too kind.
Luna, I'm sorry my delusions are hurting everyone.
Make sure your music stays true to you.
Luan, make sure everyone keeps smiling.
I'm sorry I made fun of you.
Lucy, I'm sorry your big brother is letting you down.
I love you, Spooky.
Lana, you can keep all my games.
You're the tough one now. Make me proud and keep your sister safe.
Lola, I'm sorry for breaking your heart. I'll never forgive myself.
I'm a terrible sister for not noticing. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Lisa, if you love us, respect our decision. Don't track us, please. We beg you.
I left a bunch of your special sandwiches in my room. Lily, you'll always be my baby sis. I'm sorry I won't see the wonderful girl you're growing to.
I'm sorry I tease you, but you're the only one that tried to understand. We are so sorry.
I hope you can forgive us one day. Lincoln.
Link.